Alright, so we're back with another haul video today, and we're going to be doing some updates to previous projects. Some of these parts are to modify and expand the Octan Transfer Station, which I built in the last haul video. I'm also going to be building more of the mile and train open freight wagons, because I think I've got an idea for those. Since I already have log carrying cars, I want to do something different with them. And also, I want to build a new locomotive. I'm going to be building the locomotive from the 3677 set, and I think I'm going to build it a little differently than how it's built. I mean, it's definitely going to be different because it's not going to be power functions, but I'm still kind of playing around with that and dialing in the details, but I think I've got the rough idea of what I want to build. So let's open all this up and see what we got. All right, let's get this going. This package actually just showed up a few minutes ago. It's it's about 8 p.m. on a Saturday, but it kept saying out for delivery, so I was waiting for the last one so I could get going with this haul video. I was also hoping it'd cool down a little bit. I mean, it is, I can't explain to you how hot it is. We're getting 100 degree days fairly often right now. If you know anything about AC units, they can really only cool about 20 degrees lower than that. So you might get it 80 in your house. And then the way my house is set up, just no cool air makes it down to the workshop down here. So it's actually really a problem trying to keep up with my schedule without having a heat stroke. So yeah, I got a couple of these. These are always fun when they have the electrical symbols and things like that. These are for the 3677 locomotive, and I went ahead and ordered a bunch of them because I'm always needing things like that. I got another fence piece. If you'll remember, I did get one that had an Octan sticker on it. So I'll have some that are blank and some with the Octan. I'm trying to pick those up as I go. This is an Octan. Yeah, that is printed. So that's actually pretty good condition. I didn't expect it to be too thick like that. But yeah, that's another great piece to add to the Octan collection. Now I got another one of these. I always pick those up. Looking at these now, yeah, it's a good thing I ordered extras because that is inexcusable. That should have never been shipped to somebody. I mean, you know, stuff like this can fall through the cracks. I get it. But I mean, that's a pretty extreme example. It's all jacked up. And here, this was supposed to be the 6-bolt version, you know, where there's 2 in the middle too. Those are needed for this locomotive. Unfortunately, this was all they had, but they did refund me for it, but went ahead and sent it anyways because it was mislisted. And then I got a bunch of the rail bar pieces, whatever you want to call those, and then the vents in dark bluish gray. All right. All right, let's see what we got in here. Okay, so actually I misspoke earlier. This is the one that showed up today because I needed a bunch of these. In an extremely old haul video from last year, I showed off a box of parts I had gotten from eBay, and that's where my 60052 locomotive came from. It was just a bag in that box that had most of the pieces, and it had all the stickered pieces, everything I needed, and then it was just common pieces to round out the rest of it. And that's pretty much the story with this 3677. So I'm very happy about that. I've got the windshield pieces, and I've got the stickers, all that kind of stuff. That's very good. So I got some, I've been trying to pick up some of these larger bricks. Those are used in some older builds and just handy to have. An absolute ton of these because I'm always running out of these. If I dig through my big bin of Lego, like my childhood Lego, I end up just finding a bunch of dark gray. And I got some of these. It only needs like actually one of each of these for this locomotive, but I try to order extra as I go so I can just have parts on hand for that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see what this is. It did not come from Walmart, despite what the box says. I feel like this would have been cheaper to send in a bubble mailer rather than, you know, a box with so much empty space. But I can see why. I mean, I did have these train bases in here. It might just be the one. So this is a 24 length train base, and the 3677 is actually built on a 28, so it's about 4 studs longer. And then actually on each side it has a 2x6 and a 2x6, so it's actually 4 studs longer than whatever base you use. I actually built it with the 28, just kind of mocking it up more than anything, and it was just too big. It just didn't look right, even though it's actually the same length as many of my other locomotives. There's some bricks here. It just, maybe because it's only kind of 4 wide in the center, it just didn't look right. And I didn't need that extra length because I'm not going to be using the power function system. It originally came with a red cover for the battery box, and it's actually very expensive to try to find those. So that was another reason I didn't go that route. And then, oh yeah, so we've got, I didn't even know these were in here. That's great. I need these. Or no, this is the right order. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 9-volt decorative side pieces for the motors. I'm definitely getting low on these. I keep getting motors, but not having those, so that's really good to have. And then just a bunch of train wheels. Let's see, I can load all this up in the box here. Alright, let's get on to this one. I am somewhat trying to speed this up. I'm just dripping sweat. This is getting crazy. Okay, so a lot of this is mixed in together, so I'll see what I can show here. I got some of the, well, okay. It's got the yellow support pieces, the black kind of medium-sized tolerance. It's a small medium, I guess, because there's actually 4 sizes, I guess. A Rock Raiders control panel, why not? 1x6s in blue, because I'm always running out of those for some reason. Some of these guys for the open freight wagons. An Octan flag. Pretty good condition, maybe a little bit faded, but it might have looked like that to begin with. Well, and another Octan printed tile, which I have several of those. This is more of the supports. This is 2x6s, 1x3s. There's 4x4 plates in here. I needed those for the bogies on the open freight wagon. And I also went ahead and got the masonry bricks that I need for the Octan Transfer Station. So I'll be able to actually have the right color. That's what it was in the instructions. I used light bluish gray because I didn't have any of these. But I think that'll make it look a little bit better, just to have kind of that layer of dark bluish gray to match some of the rest of it. And I got some more panel pieces, always needing those. All right, let's see what we got in here. Oh, well, we can go all the way through. Okay, so I think this is the biggest order. Maybe not in price, because that other one had all those train wheels in it. But they were a decent deal, that's why I got them. So I got more of these round pieces in case I want to make more Octan tanks. So these are the ones that were used in the transfer station, so I might be able to have these off to the side or somewhere else, or maybe expand it out a little bit. So I got plenty of the round pieces. The dishes that go up top. Energy crystals have been found, and some of these nozzles in light bluish gray because I needed those. I wonder if these are all supposed to be the same, because these don't look like the same green. Like this one looks different than those. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Let's see, these are for the open freight wagon. Open freight wagon, and then these round guys. We're in the Octan station, but I needed more of those. Some of these in trans neon orange. Pretty much pick up anything that I can find that's like that color, because those colors are discontinued now. This is another windshield piece that was in that build. Stuff like that I just try to keep on hand. So if I use them, I like to replace them in my collection. Actually, there's a couple more. So I guess maybe these were new and used or something. More supports. More supports. More of these bar pieces in light bluish gray and yellow. Yeah, those are trans neon orange as well. And then the light bluish gray steering wheels. These are for the open freight wagons. I needed a bunch of them. I didn't really find a better solution for that. So hopefully these don't start popping off all over the layout whenever I run trains. More of these windshields. Maybe they just wanted to put 2 in each bag so they didn't get too scratched up and things like that. So yeah, I've got some hard hats. One of these has the hair on it, and some more kind of nozzle pieces and panels. Okay, so this is going to be the last package for this haul. So these are just kind of, I just ordered more of these 1x2 and 1x1 light bluish gray because I realized I didn't have many. Okay, I got another Octan torso there, some of these red grill pieces, a door. I'm trying to get some of the engines have like those doors along the side, and some steering wheels in white light bluish gray. Just plates, always running out of plates. And I ordered all the fences they had, and I knew that there was going to be some variation. So it looks like these two are pretty yellowed. These 3 look okay. So I could use these somewhere. I wouldn't want them next to each other in a build. I don't know how well you can tell on camera how that looks, but it's a pretty noticeable difference between them. So yeah, but not too bad. These are here's another one. Yeah, that looks pretty good too. So 4 out of 6 ain't bad. I pretty much always order extra white, especially if they're used, and like I said, even new Legos had a hard time keeping that color consistent anyways. So that's it for the haul portion. So let's check out some of the builds that became of all this. Okay, so this is what I have for the open freight wagons. Just kind of picked up these trees and pick-a-brick, and just got the idea to, what if I just carried those? Like I said, I already have log cars. And then recently I was watching a video by Dunkster Bricks, and he has these in a different color scheme, and they look pretty good. And he was hauling all kinds of different cargo between them. So maybe I'll pick up a few ideas from there. You might notice this one. I've got to get dark bluish gray railings and black ladders for it. But besides that, it's complete. I just never seem to have enough parts. I'm always short, just a few, just enough to have to place another order. And then this is the 3677 locomotive mod. It is shorter. Again, if we look at the picture of the original locomotive, it's actually 4 studs longer, and part of that was to have room for the Power Functions battery box. And hopefully I'm saying this right. I wanted to thank Brady Winsbauer for taking this picture and posting it in the Discord, because I was trying to find a good picture of just the locomotive by itself and wasn't really finding anything I liked. So again, this is the somewhat final version. I'm always kind of changing things around as I go, but I think I like the look of this. When I did build it longer, it just seemed too long. It just something didn't seem right with it, especially because it's only 4 wide through here, where a lot of locomotives in this shape might have plates along the side of a 4 wide structure like this, so that gives it a little more thickness. So I just think it looks a little more proportional, just being a little bit shorter. And even since then, I've looked online and found people making them even shorter. I found one like that was this long, and one that was like a little tiny shunter. So that's the beauty of Lego, that you can change things around and try different things. And last but not least, let's go upstairs and check out the Octan Transfer Station. Alright, so here's a few of the modifications that I've made to the Octan Transfer Station. Well, first, this isn't a mod. I did go back and put the light bluish gray masonry bricks all the way around. And this whole front section here is different. So used to, it was just bare base plate underneath the tracks. But I went ahead and put some tiles down and then put these down and actually made them match how it is on the other side of the track. And then stuck some fence pieces up front here. And I really like that. It's something simple, but I think it really adds a lot to it. I didn't pull my lights up here. They're still down in the workshop. It's a pain in the butt to bring them up and down the stairs. So that's why you can't see this very well. But speaking of lights, I'm going to be experimenting with using the 4.5 volt lamps in some builds. I have these up front here. I haven't wired them in. They don't really look right for how low they are, but they do require substantial wiring. I don't know if I can get under here. Now you can see like the plugs on the back, and then I've got all these daisy chained together basically. So I'm kind of debating on how much I'll actually use those. And they're actually being powered by this regulator here. So I've actually got a round brick under there, and that keeps it from going over any higher than the third mark here. If I'm not mistaken, that's like 5-ish volts. So I'm not overvolting them too much. So that shouldn't be much of an issue. So I'm happy with the upgrades. Probably do some more over time. This was definitely a ton of fun to build. And then of course, look at the Octan train go. Very nice. So, got a bad section of track over there. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is, see from the top how thin this is compared to these guys, which are 8 wide with these big tanks on there. So maybe it looks a little undersized. I don't know, but I still I do think I like it. You know, all of it together. I'm happy. And again, I'll go ahead and link this again. This is a mock from Hauling Bricks on Rebrickable. The instructions were like $4 or $5. Well worth it for such an awesome build. And again, if you want to get in the conversation, you can join the Discord. It's linked at the bottom where all of my social media links are. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.